everyone, my name is Kaikun6 and I'm here to do another episode of Playlist Stories, and I can't believe this is the first one for this year. I have changed a few things around here, and I have you guys now balanced on a table, and then now like the background is different. I am going to be changing a few things for the meantime. I am getting rid of this because this is what like my husband made for himself when he first originally wanted this room. And so now that he has the upstairs, which is like our living room slash gaming room now, so he can do whatever he wants there. And so, yeah. And so who knows how long this background is going to look like this. All I know is that I wanted to either switch the buffet piece that I had you guys before and the table just switch positions, so that way I'll be able to craft really well when it's like nearby the window. So we will see about that. So yeah. So just ignore the background for a little bit, but I do have like this garland set up, and I have like my little heart ornaments that I have shown you guys before, and so hopefully this will look a little bit different in the near future. But I love how it came out. I really like it, and hopefully for more I'll be able to craft more and then maybe just hang them up and stuff like that, because I really do want to do is go through all my wooded beaded garlands and then just hang them up like I did with this one right here. So yeah. And yeah, I have an alarming rate of clothes back there too. I have some paperwork I need to shred and some cables. Just ignore that. I have my rolly cart here, and yeah, it's just a mess, you guys. Like, it's still a mess, but I just like the way that I have it now rearranged, so that way I'll be able to go through craft items really quickly. And then the stuff that I know I'm not going to use, or even my own mother-in-law, I'm thinking about setting them up to either sell them on Mercari or just give them away as free gifts, depending on what the item is that I'm selling on there. So yeah. Anyway, let's get started on this video. If you guys don't know what Playlist Stories is, and if you're new to this channel, hi. What I do is like, well, Playlist Stories is like an idea that I came up with, or, well, me and a few of my friends in high school came up with this idea where like every single week we'll talk about like a song that came out like recently, or just a song that came out like years ago, and we reminisce during those times, because like it just reminds us of like either good memories, bad memories, still memories overall, and we just talk about it. And so my friends and I, we came up with this concept, and then lo and behold, I'm no longer friends with them anymore. I don't talk to them at all. And so I decided I'm going to continue the series on my own, and hopefully maybe y'all can join along with me and stuff like that. So yeah. So all I do is I talk about a song. I give you guys like the song title, the artist, maybe a fun fact about it or something like that, and then a little bit of a history, and then just tell you like what kind of memory is attached to the song. So I have been doing this since I starting to upload almost weekly on here, and so far like I really like it. I've been having like really good feedback from a lot of my friends, and they were saying that like, oh, I wonder if you're ever gonna talk about this certain person, this and that, or just certain like basically feedback and stuff like that. And so I decided like I wanted to continue this series and this and that, and so I have been enjoying making these type of videos on this channel. So yeah. So and of course I have written it down in my trusty notebook and stuff like that. I got this notebook like maybe now a couple years now from Dollar Tree. This was like $5. I don't even know if this exists anymore, but that's where I got it. And so what I do is I have like on the first part of this page, like I write down like the name of the episodes that I'm gonna write about, and all it is just song titles, the artist that's associated with the song, and then like a little bit of a description of like you know, like what the song title is about. And then on the back it's just like notes. So I've been writing down like notes and stuff like that. So yeah, so let me get started. And but yeah, so that's what Playlist Stories is about. So as you can see, the title is 30 Minutes by t.A.T.u. I listened to this song a lot when I was like, I don't know, a kid. I know definitely in high school for sure, because I remember when when I was a kid too, and I don't remember, I was like 8 or 9 years old, maybe a little bit younger than that, but I did listen to t.A.T.u. when I was like in the 90s, and I remember seeing, of course, some of the music videos that they released either in MTV, VH1 and stuff like that back in the day. And I just remember like I love t.A.T.u so much, and I really wanted to like see if they're gonna make any new music. And then lo and behold, I found out they broke up, and there's a lot of controversy behind them, blah blah blah. And to be honest, I didn't really care, because I was just like, that was like one of my favorite bands growing up listening to, and I was like listening to them almost like religiously, honestly. And so other than just Limp Bizkit and stuff like that, because if you guys know, Limp Bizkit is my favorite band of all time. So yeah, I remember like in high school, I got one of the CDs, and I remember I was listening to it so much to the point where I kind of remembered some of the lyrics to certain songs, and it kind of made me like want to learn Russian and stuff like that. But I don't know that many words in Russian anyway. But I just know that I really like their culture and stuff like that once I started learning more about it, because I was just like, you know, I'm a very ignorant person sometimes, you know, like I don't know anything. I would love for people to teach me new things, and then I'll learn as I go sometimes too, and all that. So one of which was like kind of like the whole controversy behind them, saying like, you know, were they really lesbians and stuff like that. And I remember that for some reason that affected high school for some reason, and we even had our first lesbian couple that came out to us also in high school, and a lot of people thought it was a big deal. And for me, I just felt like maybe it is for that certain couple. I just don't know why all the straight cis female and male like the community, I guess, from that time were making it such a big deal. So I don't know if they were supporting, they were either allies, or they were just like there to diminish them in some way. I don't know. It was just like sort of like a very terrible time during in high school when I was in there, and then somehow really good by the time we graduated from high school. So yeah, so anyway, I remembered listening to the song a lot, of course, and I did took some notes so that way I can like tell you guys about it. So there was a certain memory that came up when I was listening to t.A.T.u, and then like as a high schooler, I was like, you know, I really wanted to do a lot of things when I was in high school, and I ended up making like lifelong friends, to be honest, because growing up, I've only ever attracted like kind of like, well, not really attracted, but like I was gravitated more towards guys for friends. And so for me to have any female friends was really hard, and especially for my friend Demi, which I've known her since the 3rd grade. It was really difficult because like she was like the first female friend that really like basically stuck to me like glue since the 3rd grade, and especially in high school. And a lot of people were surprised that friendship actually really did last that long, and I was like, yeah, me too. I was very surprised, because like I have known other girls, especially in the popular girls group, because of course I was really associated with them too, since the whole you know, the Anthony Sodas's suicide type of thing. They basically like, oh, you know Rhea a lot, so that means you must be really cool to hang out with. And then I was always like, yes, but not to your standards, basically. So I always had problems with the popular kids anyway. So yeah, so a lot of the times, like I always heard that the females, or like at least the girls from the popular group, they were friends for a certain time, and then they stopped because like they either went to a different school, they transferred, whatnot. Like there was just so many other reasons that could happen, and then like it just never came to like me having so many female friends up until I got to high school. Honestly, I felt like, yes, I had certain female friends, but I just had too many guy friends, honestly. And so a lot of them did not know like me that well, I would say. Like even though I did talk a lot, I did told them a lot about myself sometimes, but even then I didn't know if like they truly knowed me and stuff. And so by the time I got to high school, I felt like I had my lifelong friends. They actually like paid attention to the smallest details that I always said. So it was really nice. And so it gave me some courage. It really did. It gave me some courage to like actually do a lot more in high school. And so I ended up making friends. I tried for a lot of stuff, especially for choir. And so I did all 4 years in choir in my high school years. And I enjoyed it so much to the point where I actually made like really good friends on there. A lot of which I don't talk to as of today. due to like, you know, their own personal reasons. But for me, it was just like I had them added on Facebook, like all millennials did at the time when we first had Facebook. Like we would add all of our friends and stuff like that. And then after a time, they just disappear from your friends list, thinking that they're probably not your friends anymore or something. I don't know. But yeah, so, but I was just surprised that Demi stood around that long, honestly. I know there was like a fallout between after high school and this and that, but I'm just glad to have her back in my life. That's all. And so, yeah. And so she and I, we were talking about this conversation earlier, like maybe months ago, talking about like, is there a song that reminds you of me and stuff like that? Because I did mention in one of my videos, I want to do like a friends edition type of thing where almost every single video I'm going to talk about like a certain friend I used to know or a certain person I used to know. And so she brought up herself and I said, I do remember one song, but I'm not going to talk about it yet. But I did remember this memory that we had with another individual, with this person. And so I'm going to talk about it today. So yeah, so either like on my notes I'm gonna talk about, which is my friend Demi, and then like another girl that I knew in choir. And I talked about her before on this channel, and I didn't know if I was gonna whether or not say her real name or not, but I decided, you know what, I'm gonna stick to her real name, and her name is Amy. So on here on the notes, I wrote that Amy and I became close friends once we met in choir. That is very true. I remembered as soon as I signed up for choir, and it was like our junior and senior year of high school, like we were together and we were basically inseparable. Like I felt like she could have been like my other best friend, right? But yeah, this sadly that never happened. Of course, it was just like as soon as high school hit, she wanted to just dip. Basically, she didn't want nobody to know about her anymore. And the only time that anybody has ever seen her is like Disneyland, because I don't know if currently her mom still works at that Disneyland over there in California, but I just know that she gets like free access just because her mom works there. So yeah, and I remember learning about her a lot of stuff. So probably in a separate video I will talk to her, like I'll talk about my experience with her, and all that stuff, like which song reminds me of her, and then eventually I'll do one about Demi. So yeah, so hold on to that. But yeah, so this certain memory, but yeah, I did met her in choir, and then of course Demi didn't like her at first, but after this school play, we wanted Amy, she wanted Amy to like her. So yeah, there was some point where for some reason, like my friendship with Amy really bothered Demi, and then she tried to get to know her, and then eventually Amy was just like, no, I just didn't like her at all. I don't know what her deal was, this and that. It's like she'll like you. Like Amy was the type of person that she'll like you at first, and then when she finds out that she was never liked or something like that, she'll be a hater. Honestly, like that was just like a whole different level of gaslighting, to be honest. And so when Demi found out about this, she tried to, you know, be friends with her, this and that, tried her best to like be friends, because she's like, well, you know, she's my best friend and you're kind of like invading in my territory of friends, so you need to like either back off fully or you're gonna have to like me, that type of thing. And I was like, oh shit, you know, this is getting aggressive, right? And so yeah, so and eventually it got to the point where, okay, well, Amy wanted to do something in her high school life also. She just didn't know what to do, and honestly I told her, you're very talented, you're a way better singer than I am anyway, and she can go between from alto and soprano, and just it was just perfect, right? But no, she just decided, I'm gonna go stay in soprano because like you're in soprano. And I was like, yeah, I do kind of sing loud, you know, that type of thing. And so eventually we got to the point where we were like, okay, we want to try out something new. And so that's what we did. So what happened was, that year, that senior year in high school, they were going to do Little Shop of Horrors. And I was like, okay, great. What are we going to do? Like, Amy just basically kind of like, you know, told me like, we're going to go try out for this. Let's see if any of us is going to be, at least understudies. I don't remember if she was the understudy or not, but I just remembered the understudies didn't like her, so I'll just explain that in a minute. So I wrote down here that, yeah, Amy and I tried out for the Little Shop of Horrors, which was a school play that we just didn't, like, we auditioned for, and we just never got accepted because, apparently, like, our singing voices was not what they were wanting. At least, the drama teacher, which he was in charge of all the plays and stuff like that for the school, it was not something that he was looking forward to. So I was like, okay. That's fine. It didn't matter because, like, because a lot of people were like, okay, well, you do choir. And I remembered the teacher, Mr. Hanson, was saying, like, yeah, you do choir, but do you have any stage fright? And I said, oh, no, I don't. And it's like, okay, well, then, I just remembered the teacher was just, like, calling, like, one by one like, all the kids that were there that were trying out. Of course, some of them did impress Mr. Hanson. The other ones was just like, oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to, like, talk to my people about this and that. And so you already know that was already like an automatic rejection and stuff like that. And I already knew, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try out and see what happens. And if I do get a role in a play, cool. And if not, that's fine. I just didn't care. I just liked the experience of me trying it out because it's something new. And I don't know why, but Amy expected me to, both of us, to get in. And I was like, hell no. I was like, I wasn't even taking it seriously. So during this during like when the whole like tryouts, like, you know, you're auditioning and stuff like that, the Amy got to sing, I don't remember which song. I remembered another friend of ours was there too, like a whole bunch of like other friends, some drama kids that were kind of like mutual friends of Amy's, and then like Mr. Hanson was there, blah blah blah. So when I want to say the popular kids found out that I did try it out, they actually showed up not that long after, and I was so embarrassed because I was just like, great, how are they going to ruin this for me, right? And so I ended up getting on stage, and it was my turn, and honestly, I didn't feel no stage fright. And so Mr. Hanson clearly knew, and he was just like, okay, I want you to audition when you're going to audition. I sang this song, the 30 Minutes by t.A.T.u. I sang it. I remembered I sang it so well that a lot of my friends were like, oh, I didn't know you can sing that well. And I was just like, I kind of do, but like I have been practicing so much in choir. It's just like, it's basically kind of like nothing for these vocal exercises and this and that. And so Mr. Hanson was impressed, but still it was not something that he was like looking for, especially for like an old play, right? Like an old school play. And so I remembered once Amy went up there before me, I just remember I was very impressed because I think she sang an Evanescence song. Because I remember I talked to her like how she could actually be like the next Amy Lee and this and that. But still, it was like something that she was just, I just want to try out. And if we do get in, we do get in. It's like, okay. And so, oh yeah, there was a little bit of drama behind there too, I remembered. Okay, so what happened was, so as soon as they had announced all the auditions, who got in, who did not, I was just so proud of like some of my other friends became like understudies. And I remember my friend Amy once found out that I was really good friends with the understudies. She wanted to butter them up, like she really did. I remembered for months they were prepping for this play and they were learning their lines. She did what, like, basically she was an understudy to an understudy, right? She wanted to impress them so well, and I was just like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. And clearly you could tell by the faces of these understudies that they hated her. They really did. And so I was like, oh boy. And it did, and another rumor started where like it just didn't make it any better, because for some reason they put two and two together and they thought, okay, she just created some drama. So I remember I talked about this with my friend Choji before, and luckily he debunked this as soon as he got a chance to talk to one of the people that was involved in this rumor. So what I wrote down was, during like the whole people were practicing for the play, there was a rumor of, like, I don't want to say his real name just in case, but I'm just gonna call him Kels, I would say. I'll probably write it down later just to remember, because I will mention him in a future video, and probably I'll change the nickname for it. But Kels and then my friend Momo. Apparently there was a point where another girl, which I am going to use her real name, her name is Julie, she said that she found Kels and Momo together, and like supposedly like he was about to, you know, receive oral sex from Momo, and supposedly that was not true. Apparently Momo said that Kels just wanted to be by himself with her, because he's always had like this like a really huge crush on her for a very long time, and then he was devastated when he started dating my friend Sparky and at the time. So yeah, and she dated like other guys at the time too, and so it was like it kind of like hurt his self-esteem a little bit. And so I remembered me hanging out with him for a certain period of time with him and Choji, and sometimes with my friend Jaws and other friends also, that it just hurt his confidence, it hurt his self-esteem, just to find out that like his longtime crush was dating other guys that never, he knew, is like, oh, they're never gonna appreciate her like I appreciate her, blah blah blah, right? So at one point, I remember Julie wanted to get in on this, and so when she was actually dating Kels, yeah, that did not help. I don't know, they did date it for a little bit, and then they broke up because apparently, supposedly Momo was interested in him, which I know later on it was debunked, because what she wanted to do was talk to him about how he's kind of like ruining her peace and this and that. And so a lot of people thought, oh, like she was about to give him, oral sex to Kels, and that did not happen. And I'm glad that did not happen, honestly, because I remember she was ridiculed for years of this rumor, and like whenever anybody new in the group, like our friends group, found out about this, they also made fun of her, and it just discouraged her from wanting to hang out with us. So I'm glad that it just stopped anyway. So yeah, I also wrote down here, says, I got to see the play once it was ready, and the understudies hated Amy and my friend Demi for some reason. I don't know why. That was the weird part about it. So yeah, I was always there also. Like, I remember they would audition, they would practice. I've been to some of those practices because, like, they always practice in the auditorium of the high school there. And since I was in choir, and I did perform also in choir, so like whenever the drama kids were done with their practice, choir was next, and so we were taking turns like that throughout the whole entire like few months that was there. And so at one point I remembered some of those understudies were kind of like talking about how Amy and Demi were kind of like getting annoying and on their nerves for some reason. And I was just like, how? Demi is nowhere near involved in this. Like, she just tried out and that's it. So apparently, what happened was, Amy was like, after the whole like audition and stuff like that, and then apparently, Demi also, I think I remember she also tried out at one point, but for some reason, of course, she didn't, got accepted or whatever. But anyway, something happened between those two, and they just developed this really cool friendship that I was hoping it was going to be that way. But apparently Amy was using her so she can be friends with the understudies for some reason. And when the understudies found out, they both hated on her both of them for that reason. And so later on, they confronted me probably a week or so before the actual play was going to be doing it at that auditorium. Or if not, it was going to be somewhere else. I don't remember if it was at the high school or it was like at Chaffee College or something like that. I don't remember. Or Chaffee High School, sorry. I don't remember. But anyway, once that play was about to be, about to be there in about a week, and everybody was prepping for it, they were practicing lines and stuff like that, they confronted me. They were saying like, hey, you need to talk to your friends. And I just said, which ones? And they're like, oh, you need to talk to Amy and Demi. And I was just like, what's going on? And so Amy, doing her Amy thing, she was sucking up to the drama kids. They did not like that, even though she did have like one good friend in there that maybe that would be enough for her to somehow participate. No, I don't know what happened. It's just, and then Demi somehow was involved in all this, and I was just like, oh, I did not know that. I just been concentrating on hanging out with friends after school, or just doing whatever I wanted to do, basically, right? But yeah, that's what happened. And then so I told them, like, don't worry, I'll talk to them. And so I talked to Amy. She kind of hated me a little bit on what they said. They thought that I was on their side, and I just said, girl, you just gonna have to calm down, basically. And so yeah, on the day of the play, I remember I bought the tickets for myself and I think for my sister, and she went to go hang out with her friends, which was like on the other side of in the auditorium, while I went to go sit down sort of like in the middle section of the seats. I remember some dude just handed me the ticket and was just like, oh, you got like the middle seat, that's cool, you'll probably see the play a lot more, but yeah, you can go down here, this and that. So I was like, all right, cool. And so I don't want to say her real name on here because I am going to mention her in the near future, but I'm going to call her probably Riley. I think, I don't know, I'll probably change that nickname for now. But I found Riley in that middle area section of the auditorium. Like, she basically had like really good seats and she was with her family, and I was just like, hey, I haven't seen you in like a week or so, what's going on? And she's like, girl, I just been like busy, I've been talking to my brother, this and that. And I was just like, oh yeah, I remembered your brother, and he's like not that looking good, you know. And it's like, yeah, but don't worry about it, like I think he's doing better. And I was like, okay, cool. It's like, do you mind if I sit next to you? He's like, oh, I have no issues with that. I thought a friend of mine was gonna come, but she decided to ditch me for her boyfriend. I was like, that's okay, that's fine. So I ended up sitting next to Riley, and we ended up like just enjoying the play together. We were kind of like making jokes here and there, and then like I was telling her some fun facts about the understudies for these people, and then like the people that were actually like up there on the stage making the play. And she just like, that is really cool to know. And I was like, yeah, like, hey, if you ever want to hang out with them, just go for it. Like, they're really cool people, you know, just don't end up like Amy. And so she's like, oh, I found out about that girl, I don't even know why you're friends with her, this and that. I'm like, well, she's in my choir class, and plus I really like her. And it's like, okay, yeah, for some reason Riley had some beef with Amy for some reason, I don't know. Anyway, continue this. Yeah, I did say that they sang the song during the tryouts, and yeah, they were impressed. Yeah, they taught. Okay, so I remember now. So after the play was done, I remember I said bye to my friend Riley. Hopefully her and her family arrived safely home. And while I was trying to go home, I could not find my sister. I told her to meet me at a certain location. She was not there. So I was just like, maybe she's talking with her friends. And I said, that's cool, I'll just start talking to my friends. And so one of them rushed me, I remembered, and they were like, hey, these people want to talk to you. And I was just like, oh, okay, sure. So Mr. Hansen was there, some of the drama kids were there, and then like the people that actually did the play showed up along with the understudies. I don't know what that was, sorry you guys. Anyway, I'm hearing a scratching noise. And so yeah, so I ended up tried to see if like they wanted to hang out with me. Like, I don't know, the understudies wanted to hang out with me, and I was just like, sure, let's go hang out. And so I ended up going to this hangout, and Amy was so jealous. Like, I remember she was mad at me. Like, the play was like on that Friday night, I remembered, and then all of a sudden I decided, you know what, I'm going to just like see where this leads, because I remembered as soon as she found out about me hanging out with the understudies, she was just so jealous. She was just so angry. She did not want to talk to me for that day, or at least for the rest of the night, because I remember when Amy showed up, she sat in a different area of the auditorium and I could not find her. I remember when I had her number, I tried calling and texting her and nothing. And so I was just like, okay, well then maybe she's busy. And then I found her like basically like seething in a corner of the auditorium when I was talking to the understudies with Mr. Hansen. Mr. Hansen for some reason was just like, hey, I know they're doing this hangout and stuff, but like, would you mind wanting to do like a little pizza party with us? And I was just like, really? Why? And it's like, I didn't even do anything. It's like, yeah, but like these people really like you. And I thought, hey, you're not a bad person, let's just invite you. And I was like, all right, cool. So I just got invited for association for these people, and to me, I felt like that was pretty cool, up until the popular kids found out about it, and they tried to ruin my experience. And luckily, I had the understudies backs. They backed away, and they just decided not to bug me after that. Maybe until after probably graduation or something. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I thought about this memory, but I just remembered me sitting, like me auditioning for this song. I was singing the song, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to hang out with the understudies, and it was actually freaking cool, honestly. We did the pizza party, and then after that we got to hang out for a little bit. My sister finally found me after the little hangout and said, hey, I found out that you were not coming home yet, and I was just like, no, do you want to come and hang out with me? And she's like, yeah, sure. So she hung out with me for a little bit up until she found some other friends that were around that hangout, so she got to go to her group of friends. But when they found out, I was like, oh, that's your sister? And I said, yeah, that's my sister. So, oh, that's cool. And then, so yeah. And then after that, I ended up walking home, I think. No, I remember. My mom was wondering, like, okay, it's already getting late. You need to get picked up. And I remember she called me and everything. And I told her, yeah, don't worry, I'm almost done. Like, you could park the van or whatever vehicle she had at the time. And I remember it was a van. Just park the van, like, somewhere in front of the school. I'm gonna go be there. And so by the time I was actually officially done with hanging out with, like, the understudies, with Mr. Hanson, the other drama kids, and then some friends, my mom barely pulled up, and I was just like, oh, my ride's here, so bye, you guys. And I said, all right, cool, we'll just see you on Monday. And so, yeah, there was a cool moment there. And then on Monday morning, I just remember writing this, Amy got jealous and not talked to me for a few days, and that was true. I don't know why, but that was the situation that I was in back in high school. And I was just, like, wondering, like, why was she so jealous? Like, she should be happy. Like, I know she wanted to hang out with them and stuff like that, but it just never happened, right? And so, Demi ended up being, kind of like a little bit of a sour person, too, after that. But up until that Tuesday or Wednesday of that week, she went back to normal. She went to, back to being my best friend at the time. And then Amy was just like, she did not want to talk to me. She was so mad at me. I remembered during that time of choir, we only ever associated in choir just for choir. We did not associate as friends. And so I felt like, okay, this is getting me nowhere, so we're going to go see what happens. And then after that, she started talking to me again, and we started being close again. It's like, I don't know if she was in a mood or something, but all I know is that by the time it was maybe that Thursday of that following week, that Thursday of the following week, and I think it was like a few days before prom, if I remember correctly. She was, like, talking about how she wants to, like, ask out this guy or something for prom. Turned out that she rejected him entirely. It was just so sad, because I remember she talked about, like, this guy named Mark, and how she, like, this guy really, really liked him, and he's, like, outside of the school, basically. Like, I don't remember which school he was in, but he really liked her. And then she ended up dating this other dude by the end of high school, which was so terrible, because it's like, this dude had a huge crush on her for so long, and for him to get rejected many times, and then now that she's actually serious with whatever boyfriend she has, maybe it's now fiance or husband, probably has some kids, because I wouldn't even know, because I haven't talked to her since high school. And so she it was just fucked up. And so I remembered I went through that same phase too, because, like, when asshole had a crush on me in high school, like, and then all the way after high school, he of course he waited for me till I was 18, which was, like, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, that's pretty bad, like, he had a crush on you since you were a child, you were jailbait, this and that. But he was pretty smart about it, and this and that. But he mainly just wanted to hang out with me and stuff like that, and so that happened. And so for him to, you know, to have a crush on me that long, and this and that, and then actually date him for a little bit, then broke up with him and stuff like that, it just made me thought about, like, Amy and Mark. And yeah, that was kind of terrible. Honestly, I felt bad. I felt like he should have moved on from there if that was going to happen, because she was pretty serious about that current boyfriend that she had at the time. So I don't know if she's dating now, she's married or not, I don't know. I haven't had any updates from her, and it's been a while since, like, anybody has ever seen her anyway. But I was kind of glad that during the like, basically, there's a lot of memories I had with Amy, and that was just, like, a part of it, you know. And so basically that was, like, part one of, like, my Amy story, basically, and then also part one for my friend Demi. So hopefully in the next episodes, I'll talk about my friend Demi, I'll talk about more about my friend Amy, and then some other people, like Kels. I'll definitely talk about him too, because, like, that was a weird time. Also, I think it was, like, a year or so after high school. There was a point in time where Jaws was kind of, like, unavailable to hang out for a while, because either he was low on money, or he was just like trying to look for a job or something. And then so it was in that period of phase where it was just me and Choji for a little bit, and then plus whatever friends we had hanging out and stuff like that. And so Kels somehow one way or another got us, like, we got to hang out with him even at Choji's house at the time. And then yeah, that was a very weird time because he started dispelling so many rumors that he's heard of himself. And I was like, and I remember the infamous rumor of the one that I just talked to you guys about him and Momo and then Julie. And so yeah, I remember he dispelled on that, and I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a video on that one too in the near future. So yeah, but yeah, that's everything I'm gonna talk to you guys about. I couldn't believe I remember that, because I just remember at one point I was like, yeah, I remember I did try it out for a play when I was in high school. And yes, I did do 4 years of choir that led to like a lot of friendships. It led to like a creative writing group and this and that. It was just really fun. And I really liked Amy's creative writing stories, that type of thing. I really liked it. And whenever I did do my own short stories there, a lot of my friends encouraged me, but I felt like Amy was a little bit seething of anger or jealousy sometimes, because we always like looked forward to her stuff, but for some reason I guess our attention was not enough, like as meaning as me and like a few of our friends that was in that club, or secretive club I would say, because it was not an official club. It was just something like us female friends wanted to do. And like I said, it was like very hard for me to make any female friends. So once I actually got some female friends, I don't know whether or not it was going to last that long or not. And so, yeah. So yeah, anyway, that was a very like a trip down memory lane, honestly, because I remembered I talked about this with my friend Demi before, and then I remember whenever I'm on the phone with my friend Choji, we always talked about this person. And yeah, and sometimes he'll give me updates on her, or if he's ever seen her again. But sadly, you know, the last time that anybody has seen her or mentioned her was just that time at Disneyland, and she took a photo of her going like, you know, kind of like going like this. It was just funny. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what the next week's video would be, because like just yesterday, which was like a miracle in it, you guys. I don't know where it's at. I think it's in my Lego Classic box. I haven't been shopping lately. Well, yes I have, but I have the stuff in the washing machine so that way I can just show you guys in a future shopping haul video. But I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I have a Shabby Tree boutique order here. I remember I found this in one of their lives. Like they have like a new arrivals type of thing. You can go see it on Facebook, and I mean they have Instagram and stuff like that, but like they always do their stuff on Facebook. And they go lives on Tuesdays and Fridays, and they show their new arrivals, which is like their clothing ones or accessories or home decor. And I remember I saw this on Joy, and I was like, I have to have it. And then it sparked an idea in my head where I actually want to you know, hopefully I'll be able to do a Shabby Tree boutique videos, like kind of like what I have ordered in the past and what I have done. And then I'll just show you guys like the order card, which I have in here somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but I wanted to show you guys like the clothing item that I have ordered. And then oh, that's weird, I can't find it. I don't know where it's at. Anyway, I thought it was in here, but yeah, so I was going to show you guys like what was in this order, and then that way talked about like how long did it take me to buy it and this and that, and just show you guys how pretty the stuff I have ordered, because like ironically this is what I also ordered on their website, and I don't remember what the name of this shirt is, but I love it, and I don't know, I love it so much. So other than that, sorry, I was going to show you guys this for real, which is other than my Amazon box, which I haven't unboxed yet. I need to do that video for you guys. So probably the next few videos, it's going to be something from the Shabby Tree, something from AliExpress, because finally my orders from AliExpress came in. I thought they were going to be lost to the fires over there in California, because when you are ordering stuff from AliExpress, of course, they're coming from China, and you don't get a notification on your informed delivery or anything like that up until it arrives into the US. And my tracking number for this one showed that it arrived to a local facility, and I already know automatically that's LA. and so they were dealing with all the fires that was going on over there, and so I thought maybe for some reason this was burnt, lost, I don't know, but finally it just showed up yesterday, and I'm like, I cannot wait to show you guys this, because I think I paid $11.22 for 10 items. So, and a lot of it's like crafting items or stuff that I'm gonna be using from Mercari. But yeah, so I'm going to be showing you guys in a future video, and hopefully I'll be able to show off the clothing from the Shabby Tree boutique. So I'm going to go gather all the stuff that's in my closet, including this shirt right here that I'm wearing. Just show you guys like in a kind of like a little small mini series, talk about like these clothes and like when I order them, when did they show up at my house, like if it's like really cute or something, how much I paid for them, because a lot of the stuff was expensive. Honestly, I still remember that one of the dresses that I think I talked about this on my Facebook, but there's a dress that I bought on there. It cost me $44 in total, and that price is like with shipping included, because it's free shipping in the US, but if you don't live in the US, they charge you more for the shipping. But anyway, that price on there, you pay for that price, and then there you go, it gets shipped out like within a few days, and then it arrives at your home within a few days, depending where you live in the US. And so for me, I live in Texas, and their stuff is from Georgia, so it literally takes like 3 to 4 days depending. And so I don't remember when I ordered this certain item or this item, but I just remember it showed up like within the same week, or almost like next week, like the following week. So that way I'll be able to like wash it, try it on, model it, because that's what I used to do for the actual crafting page for them. I used to model the clothes on there, and now I'm doing crafting again, and so hopefully I'll be able to show some crafting, which I have been doing. I actually finished up a craft for a little bit, or at least semi-finished, and I'm not going to show you guys a sneak peek of that because it still needs to dry, and plus I'm trying to figure out how to make it into like a hanger, decorate it differently, maybe put like stickers on there or some sort of like other decoupaging, because it is a decoupaging project. So yeah, anyway, but I want to do that video soon, like for the Shabby Tree, and then do something for Amazon, and then do something for AliExpress, this and that. So we will see. I don't know what else, but probably next week will be the Shabby Tree probably video. I don't know, I still have to decide on that, you guys, but I am gonna gather all the clothing for that video, show it off, and be like, okay, I'm only gonna show you guys like a few minutes here and there of it. I don't know if I'm gonna have something hung up in the background of this shirt or something. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'll probably just show it like how I used to do in the videos, just like hold it up to the camera like that, and then just show the full thing. So we will see. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go now. I'm going to clean up my mess for sure, because I had a lot of I was crafting, and then I've been going through all these crafting supplies. I just thought I'm never going to be using these, so I thought maybe doing like a kind of like a mystery bundle type of thing to sell on Mercari, or if not, like give away some of these items in my orders for Mercari, so that way they'll get a little bit of something extra in there, because in all my orders that I have been doing for a little bit while from Mercari, they get like a free squishy, and I mean, like, who doesn't like a free squishy, you know? And so I've been doing that. I gotta order more of those squishies. I have excuse me, so many other things to do. I just want to finish up my craft. I want today to warm up, because it is cold. When I woke up, it was like 21, 22 degrees, and I was like, it's not gonna get until the 30s till maybe 11 o'clock, which is so crazy. I don't even know what time it is right now, so it should be like between 9 to 10. So anyway, I'm gonna go now. Hopefully you guys have a lovely day and a lovely week, and I'll see you guys next week for hopefully a Shabby Tree video. So bye everyone.